Alright, this crate came. Here it is. It's the 50 watt. We'll check it out and get it installed. I'll show you the difference between this and the 40 watt, which is not just the laser. Control of the head, the lenses, everything's different. Cable chains and all.
And it's heavy.
And it's pretty heavy. I think the crate is more than the unit. Using a fine tuning tool right there. Hey guys, Ron here. As you can see, we've been working again. The place is a disaster area. That's part of doing projects, which is fun. Check this out. So I wanted to show you guys the differences between the 50 watt and the 40 watt K40. You know, so much times it sounds like just the wattage of the tube, but these machines are completely different beasts, and I'll show you why. Okay, here we go. I'll be back. So this is the 40 watter. I got a tube up there. I'm setting up for another project that's a 50 watt tube. 800 millimeters 32 inch as opposed to 700 millimeters 28 inch. Alright? Alright. In the box, this thing comes without that cable chain and without the air injection, which I added. It's got a small work surface, no end stops, and I think it's got an 8 millimeter belt drive all around. Alright? And these are the controls. Actually, it's a terrific little machine, $370 bucks. But I use a proper water cooler, chiller. I use that for everything, even this guy, especially this guy. Now, here's the difference between these, some of the subtle differences I'll show you. Okay, small difference one. Side panel with what they call U-disc, USB flash drive reader, and port for computer. Individual switches for each, for water, air, laser. I made my own ground wire, which is the green wire, which is just the only one plugged into that top plug. Just the ground wire is connected. The other two blades are gone and the other two wires are gone. Just use that as an in-house easy solution. And that's got a bigger air pump down there. Just set up for testing still. Okay, so here we go. So the differences are pretty huge. This uses 15 millimeter rubber top of the line drive belts all around. Uses a two cable chains are built in. Laser spot is built in. Laser dot spotter and correctly aligned. The whole laser head assembly is on a whole different carriage. Not just a rocky, carriage. The bed is completely adjustable. Manually on this one. I don't know if you can see it now. Here we go. Give you a point of reference. Construction is tremendous. Actually, you can focus this with the they give you a little spacer here to measure, but you can actually focus this with the spotter beam, the laser spotter. Here, I'll turn it on. Hold on, hold on here. It's not that loud. So you can see that you can adjust the marker. It rides on these bearing, I forget what you call these things. It doesn't have just floating bearing, it's got these rails, I forget what you call them. Anyway, just listen to the motor and look at the speed of this. Totally different ballgame. And you can control it from the front panel. And it also has solid state end stops. They're not optical, I think they're magnetic. proper fittings for air. So the air fittings are proper fittings, and they go through a hard line channel for curve stuff. All the optics are really top line, way better. Everything's completely adjustable as far as focusing the laser and lens stops. Metallic plugs. Everything's done properly on this one. Big difference. All the panels open, so you have access to underneath here. You can keep your rotary cutter, rotary platform that comes with it. Let me show you that. The rotary platform is included, along with an aquarium pump and the air pump, some tools, a bunch of cables and odds and ends. So this is completely different, top quality, no comparison. Yes, there's a couple interesting things. This already has a panel opening for, if you want to make this a 60 watter, you could just get a 60 watt tube, take this cover off, and add this extension. You can get it from a light object. You could easily turn this to a 60 watter if you need to. I don't think you need to. 50 is plenty. And it's also the perfect size and unit for a small studio, even apartment. It's quiet, it's a good size, and you got the RD controller, which is terrific. And everything locks with this X key, Chinese rose key type thing. Now this has a water flow meter. It's also, I think, a pressure regulator. If there's no water, the system won't run. You know. It's a built-in fan which is real quiet. And a lot of storage space underneath there. This one's not a motorized Z-axis, but it's easy enough to put a motor in the controller. It's really simple. So that's one thing. Okay, so that's the rear section. That part anyway. Standby. Here's an access panel. Everything's heat shrunk, wired properly and individually correctly. It's really nicely done. Sorry I'm going all handheld today, but I'm doing. Alright, check this out. Next, you see this top plug? It's got no blades in it. Let me show you. So no blades, ground only, just a green wire. And so that's going to use your house ground. It's got ground outlets, which everyone should have, and that goes over here. So that's a quick ground, quick house ground. I have it outside, just putting lightning rods in the ground. Alright, let's look at the next thing. What was interesting is this cover does not stay up by itself. So, staying with tradition, I use a chopstick. I keep the chopstick in the alcove here. So this is the way this is set up. It's very clean and nice, simple. Water comes in this end, and if you find when you first power up, I got a giant bubble right here that would not go away. So I kept pinching the intake line, and finally sucked it through. So it's very clean and set up nice. So again, if you want to put a 60 watter, I think you can go bigger because that extension I have is like 10 inches. So this is 800 millimeter, which is what, 32 inch. So if 1,000 millimeter is 40 inch, I think we could fit 40 inch. It's another 8 inches. You can definitely go to the big guys. See, the nice thing to have control for all the circuits: laser, air, water, air pump. Power. And like I said, this has a low pressure pressure regulator and water sensor. So if it doesn't see water, it won't fire up, which is nice protection. All right, and also it'll shut it down if there's a water loss or anything like that happening while you're working. Wiring is really nicely done, I must say. This Rui controller. This with the interface and everything else is about $400 controller. All the wiring is done really properly. I'm impressed with that. All the grounds are done right first. Everything's tucked in nice. Everything's heat shrunk tubing, spade, lugged, and hot glue backup. Very nice. All these things I'm mentioning are not on this little guy, and I like this little guy. It's terrific. It's just a nice, simple XY pantry with a good optical system. It works. It works great. But it's a whole nother ballgame with this guy. So it's not just the wattage. So that's another good thing. Built-in fan works fine. You don't need to upgrade that. You really don't. And this guy you can load your work from directly from a computer or from a they call it U-disk, like from a flash drive, USB. And then you can load it in here, put it in memory, and it's there. And you can also do some modifications all from this panel. Everything you want to do. LED lights work good on this one. I'm not blinding you in the face. The wiring, the optics, terrific setup. I'm very impressed with this. I mean, $1,300 bucks. It's, you know, ridiculous. It's nothing. This is the same quality as the ones you see with American names for $6,000, $7,000. Seriously, no kidding. Hydraulic stage. And they've made a lot of improvements since this is 2018, December 2018. So they've done some great upgrades too. The way the optics are set up, perfect. Everything's lined up perfect out of the box, which is, you know, 50-50 on that. If you plug in your rotary cutter, there's a plug in the back, just plugs in. It actually well designed. I forget what you call these runners that the bearings run on, this style. I had it before, but I'm spaced out about 30 millimeters. Anyway, terrific machine. It's only 40 inches across. It's a little tall. It's like, I think, 25.6 tall in the back, and 25.6 front to back. I did a couple of quick cuts with it right from the panel. I didn't program it. It's got some internal programs, default programs for internal memory. This little panel here comes out. I don't know why it doesn't do anything with it. You can see it's the bracket here. So that's interesting. I have to figure out why they did that. But again, so you got direct airline set up. You've got everything set up nicely. You've got hard lines. It makes a turn here, so you're using actually hard coupler to get that line to go in there. It's got LED spot laser, red spot laser for locating location. It's got rotary table. It's got way bigger. Look at these belts. These belts are, I think these belts are at least 15 millimeters. And they're like the quality of the Gates automotive belt. There's two of them on that. And you got oversized steppers, big motors. What else can I tell you? This terrific controller. Very quiet, solid state end stops all around. I mean, for $1,300 bucks, it's insane. You can't touch it. All right, guys. So that's a quick comparison of what's going on here. Here's like a 1-inch cable chain back here for the other lines for the y-axis. And motorizing the Z would be easy. Actually, let me show you. Oh, it's too dark for the back. You can see belt drive, manual. To motorize that is very simple. There's plenty of room to keep your rotary drive table in here. Just leave it in there. That just has a single plug if you really want to use it. And everything uses, like I said, this roller skate key from China. I'm very impressed. It's terrific. Came shipped in that crate you saw. Not a scratch or a mark on it. That red laser is on. It's a spotter. So like that. So that's that. Nice footprint. Let me show you what it looks like all closed up. Fit and finish is good. There's as unusual. Sorry about this expert camera work today, but I'm craziness day. It's the way it's set up. Once you have a really low table, you're gonna be standing up. You can't sit to work on this. But I have that huge stool which goes up to ridiculous heights. So for me being still busted up from a motorcycle accident, it'll be nice. Anyway, that's the overall once over. It's just a terrific unit. I did a couple of quick cuts with it, just smooth, fast, a whole different ballgame. Uses RD laser software, or actually can use Corel Draw, RD, a bunch of them. And you can create something, throw it on your flash drive, and stick it in here, keep it in memory, and it's there to be used when you need it, which is another terrific thing. So I haven't eaten up the installation yet, but very clean and simple, you know. You get the 2 water lines, the air line, air pump. I like their pumps. Air pump and chiller. That's it. And you just got to make sure the output of the chiller goes to the input, because the water has to go in this end. It has to flow from this end and out that end. So that's about it. All right, guys. But if you listen to the motor and listen to these will crash into the deck, crash into the side. Still work though, but you have to be more careful with what you're doing. And that's it. Happy cutting. This is the only place where you go to school you can cut class. I mean, you should cut class. So that's a 50-watt tube I got somehow in a trade, brand new. I got these mounts. I'm thinking of doing some kind of demo thing. I don't know yet. Alright guys, comes with a lot of documentation, a lot of accessories. I mean, you can make fun of the English with the translation, but this book's pretty good in this one. So, that's it. Out for now. See you later. Ciao.